Welcome back to another episode of the Evil Dungeon Master Universe podcast. I am your host, the Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and sitting alongside me is a voice from the past, a man from the past, a man who sat next to me, well, not really sat next to me, but kind of sat next to me on Roll for Initiative DM, Will. How you doing, Will?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Yep. A lot of people over the years keep asking me constantly in emails, where's DM Will? When are you going to get back DM Will? Where's DM Will? So I finally said enough is enough. I reached out to DM Will, and he's just like, yeah, I have some spare time. I'll come on. No, I'm kidding. He's more than happy to come on. So tell us what you've been up to, man.
Woo! Let me see. Pretty much, I'm still playing first edition D&D with a long-time group that I've known for quite some time since I retired here in Washington State.
Yeah.
Still going to gaming conventions. You know, I go to any of the board game conventions within here, Washington State or Oregon.
You go to PAX, right?
You know, I go to PAX every other year.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
So the ones I go to are like Game Storm, which is in Portland, Oregon next year. Mm-hmm. And then I do Dragonflight, which is right up here in Bellevue, Washington.
And you got what?
Then they got OrcaCon, and then they got this con. You know, anything that has a con in it, I go to it. And then I go to like Emerald City Comic Con. I do that still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go to PaizoCon too, or?
You know, I went there one time. It was an unusual experience.
Wow.
It's just, you know, it's strange when you go to a convention. You want to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But when you go to a convention where they're doing the same game, and it's just not as, you know, exciting. And so, but I've been to PaizoCon one time. I'll probably never go back again.
Oh, so really, Paizo? I've never been to PaizoCon. It's just basically just Pathfinder, whatever, and Starfinder, and that's really pretty much it.
Yes, that's it. And then, you know, whatever their living group is, Pathfinder. Oh, I forgot what they call it.
Society, I think it's called.
Yeah,
right?
Pathfinder Society. That's it. Yes, and they're doing that too as well. So not a lot of room to really engage in there. Yeah, you're going there, get into a game, someone runs a mile. Oh, wow, had fun. See y'all next year. Not me. So, but yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of lame. I thought it was more like they invited other people and it was just named PaizoCon because, you know. I mean, I guess I could say the same thing about Palladium's open house. It's just all Palladium games. But at least it's different games, so.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, like when I go to Dragonflight or Game Storm, you can do board games, you can do card games, you can do RPGs, you're doing miniature games. They have video games there. They have, what do they call them when the people are talking, you know, guest speakers.
Speakers, yeah.
And so on and so on. But the thing is, it encompasses a larger community instead of being focused on one particular community.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong now, they do have a large crowd there and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, it's Paizo all 3 days. I think, like, what are we going to do today? We're playing a Paizo thing. What are we doing today? A Paizo thing. And I feel like, what about a board game? There ain't no board games. I said,
Paizo doesn't make those. Get out.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to GalaxyCon this weekend in Oklahoma. And it's a pretty big convention because it's in Oklahoma City. And they have role-playing games, board games, anime. It's kind of like, think of Gen Con, but just on a smaller scale.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it has comic books and stuff like that. It has writers, it has actors, it has wrestlers and stuff like that. So, you know.
Oh, I never knew about wrestlers. That's pretty awesome. I know you're a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, me and my wife are very big wrestling fans. As you know, we used to always talk about wrestling on RFI and annoy people with that. So.
No, that was funny, but I tell you, it was sad. I was so sad to hear when King Kong Bundy passed away. He was my favorite wrestler. I love the guy. Yeah,
you always, every time we talk about wrestling, you're like, I remember King Kong Bundy. That's all you ever talked was King Kong Bundy. So
I couldn't help it. I love the guy. He was a presence. That's why I loved him.
Oh yeah, he was a big presence. I'm so sad that they let him go. He could have stuck around for a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was my first choice for Kingpin in Daredevil. I'm sorry. I mean, he looked just like him. He had that voice. He was angry. You know what I'm saying? I thought he would have been great.
I mean, D'Onofrio did a good job, but you're right.
Top of the line. You will not meet a greater actor who could portray the Kingpin than Vincent D'Onofrio. Yes, no, he was perfect for the role.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. And King Kong Bundy did look the role. I don't know.
He definitely did.
He kind of looked like, you're right, Kingpin. Now that I'm thinking about that, he would have made a good Kingpin. Damn. All right.
Hey, that's funny.
So let's, before we get into things, theevildm.com is my website. You can head there to check out everything about me, as well as my YouTube channel, which is going strong, getting closer to 5,000 subscriptions there. We have our actual plays during the week with myself and Jeff, our co-op plays, which you can go and listen to. Right now we're playing DC Heroes 3rd Edition, and we're doing the GM emulator to do our GM. It's kind of interesting. Have you ever done that, Will?
No, but I know what DC Heroes is. Are you talking about the old DC Heroes from the old days?
Yeah, the Mayfair game.
Oh, wow. Now you make me feel my age. But I know DC Heroes. I played that for a very long time. Well done system, but I never followed it after 2nd and now 3rd edition that you say of.
Yeah, they went to 3rd edition, and then some other company tried to make a new one called Blood of Heroes in the early 2000s, which didn't hit well with a lot of people because the artwork was really bad in it, and they revamped a couple things to make it a little bit different to try to make it their own. But then there was a whole somewhat debacle going on with it, so they lost the license. I think it was Pulsar Games that actually tried to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it just been dormant since then.
You know what I liked about DC Heroes, and I always remember this because Wonder Woman was stronger than Superman.
Yeah, she was in I think the original edition first.
Exactly. A lot of people didn't know that she was definitely more powerful than Superman, and that was an impressive thing. I remember that from DC Heroes. What a well-done game.
Yeah, definitely. But so anyway, Jeff and I play that, and we use the Mythic Game Master emulator, which I'm sure you've heard of because it's for solo role-playing usually.
Oh, yes. I know of that. I heard of it.
Yeah, so we play that. We record 2 episodes, and I put it out during the week for people to enjoy, and most people find it funny. Some people find it interesting. Some people just don't care, but, sometimes I put videos out, and I usually have a daily podcast. So anyway, let's get into this daily podcast today with Will. Let's talk about things like handling player absences in your game. Now, Will, you run a face-to-face game once a week or whatever, twice a week. How often is your game?
Oh, well, actually, with the D&D game, it's every week. It's on Friday, and of course, I run multiple other RPGs throughout the week. But yeah, we do it once a week, every week.
And you probably have a standard set of people that join your game, right?
Absolutely.
So what happens if a player doesn't show up and he's in the middle of your campaign and he's a crucial person to your campaign? How are you going to handle that?
That's an excellent question. So what I do is with my group, I have 6 players, all wonderful players. Some have been playing, for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Some just started playing, the last couple of years and never was involved with 1st edition AD&D. But when someone doesn't show up, and everybody, and that's a good point, everyone is crucial when we're playing. No one is more important than the other. And that's one thing that I instill when we're gaming everything. Everyone has a purpose.
Well, let me phrase it a different way. Then I didn't mean to single other people out. I meant as crucial as in, say, like you have a party and this is your party leader and he has the MacGuffin, so to speak, and that person's gone. So what do you do?
So what we do is in cases like that, if we have a player that can't make it, and then, say, hey, someone can't make it, so then we end up doing something else. Nothing wrong with taking a break from time to time, because the hunger to play is even greater the next week, if you get my drift.
Yeah, true.
So we'll resort to playing, one of the more popular board games that are out, or we'll do a card game, or we will find something else to entertain ourselves, gaming related.
Interesting, because with my group, if somebody's out, and even if they are a pivotal person in the campaign, we try to make up a story and hand it over to somebody else, just so we can continue playing, because everybody wants to just play. So that's usually what we do in my group.
That's funny. Then that is true, because, and I'm going to tell you why some of them are nitpicky about, oh, we all play without me. And I said, well, can we? I would rather you not. And I said, why? Because you're so nitpicky about the XP. I need every experience point, to go to the next level. And I said, what does that mean? You're playing D&D. There's no such thing as levels, if you get my drift. I try to keep them from going into that context of thinking about getting XP to level.
Level up. There
you go. But that's very rare. And it's just, jiving at me. We're just joking around and everything. I give them their just due. Don't listen to them. They know what they're talking about. They get their experience and they level up when they need to.
Yeah, exactly. And we agreed that if somebody's out, we'd either do two things: cancel the game completely, or just run the game without them there and just say that they're kind of there in the background or something. So they can
Right,
kind of get
right.
some experience. Like I usually, things happen in life, obviously. People have emergencies, people have sickness, family things, events they have to go to, whatever. And if they can't make it and they tell me like ahead of time, I usually accommodate them by like, yeah, no problem. We'll just have your character sit in the background and, we won't make any decisions on their behalf. We'll just say he's moving with the group. And I'll give you half the experience that the group gets for the day, just so they get something for it. But if
Oh,
you're gonna,
that's all good.
but if you're gonna be that guy, like 20 minutes before the game, yeah, I can't make it. It's like, dude, really?
Really. I will say that I'm very fortunate to play with this group of players because they're always there. They're very loyal and dedicated to the game. So right now we are just finished up UK2, the Sentinel. We are
Ooh,
now going into UK3, the Gauntlet. Two
okay.
awesome
Yeah,
modules. They're just well done.
yeah, they're very good
And
AD&D one modules. Yeah, definitely. Those UK series
yes,
modules were really good.
oh yes, I was always impressed with their format and everything. And plus, the best part is you have Fiend Folio monsters in there, and
Yes.
most people are not familiar with those, so it makes it very interesting. Like the Sheet Phantom, or the Sheet Ghoul, or the what is that one? It's the vampire head that flies around with the guts below the neck. Oh, I forgot what
Oh,
they call them.
yeah, I know. And the crypt thing's also in there too.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of these creatures are found in these UK modules. It's very interesting. Now, my gamers don't listen to many podcasts, but after they're done here, then we're going into the Pharaoh series. I2, I believe it is. Yes, I2, Pharaoh.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think they're going to be listening unless you're like, hey, I was on this podcast, and then they'll listen. So
oh, yeah. They're a good group of people. They don't have any of this stuff, and they don't look things up. But they're in for a treat when they go there. But eventually, I'm trying to get them into the Slave Lord series. So it's going to be awesome.
yes, that series of modules was excellent, and the Against the Giants ones were some of my favorites that we reviewed over the years.
Yes, sir.
Especially, and then that one guy that wrote the other modules for Against the Giants. Remember we reviewed those way back when?
Oh, wow. That was a while back then. Yes.
Yeah, the Thorkammer was his name, I believe, or something like that.
That's right. Wow, that's a name from the past.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to that dude ever since the forums. I don't go on the forums anymore, so I don't even know what happened to him. Thorky. We used to call him Thorky.
That's right. I don't recall what happened to him. It's strange because when I think about it, I know that some people have passed on in some of those forums. I don't go to forums either. But I know that, it's been years, but some of them not with us no more, unfortunately.
And some of them are still just sitting in those forums only, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yeah, they'll stay there till the end of eternity.
Yeah, so I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. And, it's been some time since we've talked about gaming stuff and how we handle gaming. And obviously with COVID, things made gaming different, for virtual tabletops. How did you handle gaming during COVID? Did you go to the virtual tabletop or did you not play at all?
No, absolutely not. I will never do virtual tabletops. And just consider me like this. The whole purpose of gaming with friends and so on is the social aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We like to get together. And I will tell you right now, did gaming stop? I would say, nah, not as much. We toned it down a little bit until we got a better handle of what was going on during that time period. Now, the gaming stores, of course, were all closed down.
Yeah.
No gaming store in my area was allowed to operate. But let me tell you what was so funny about this. In my area, there's multiple casinos.
That was still
Those
open.
were allowed to stay open.
Well, that's essential.
And they're playing card games. So we couldn't play Magic the Gathering or WoW the card game or Netrunner or Star Wars or the Call of Cthulhu card game. They're card games, but we weren't allowed to play card games. The game stores were shut down.
That's weird. Yeah, a lot of them went out of business because of that, unfortunately.
Yes, COVID impacted the gaming community in the worst way possible in this area. It impacted the gaming conventions. Our gaming conventions, we're talking about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, somewhat like that in that area. The gaming conventions still have not recovered from COVID.
Yeah.
Our numbers are low at every gaming convention.
People are still a little bit scared, so.
Yeah, and that's something we have to deal with. I can tell you one gaming convention, I keep forgetting about this one, is Enfilad, which is down in Olympia, Washington, which is the largest war gaming convention here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of gamers because that crowd down there is mostly in their 50s and 60s because it's a war game and
Oh,
historical
yeah.
miniature game convention. We lost a lot of friends down there during COVID. It was so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're well, yeah, they're an older crowd, so they're a little bit more afraid of everything because
Right.
what they told us based on age, it's going to be worse for you. So I don't blame
Right.
them for not going anywhere. So
But you are right. During COVID, that was when the virtual gaming top thing, just erupted like Mount Vesuvius at
yes,
Pompeii. It was huge. A lot of people went to it, and people still swear by to it, and a lot of people still play there in those virtual tabletop things online.
my group actually went to virtual tabletop because everyone used to play at my house. And then when COVID hit, we went to virtual tabletops and we used Foundry and we used Discord and we used our cameras and everything. And everybody seems to like it still, even though we can come over here and play. But everyone's just like, you know what? I like this. I don't have to drive anywhere. I could just sit here, and when we're done, we could just bull crap with each other, and then we just click, hang up, done, go to bed.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, so you didn't even play. You just kind of worked around the whole situation and 6 feet distance yourself at your house, or
Oh no, we wore masks for the most part.
yeah,
And I would say it took about 6 to 9 months till we kind of figured about what we wanted to do.
yeah,
And so we all decided. So there was a little bit of downtime for gaming. So that allowed me to paint miniatures most of the time and everything and make other plans. But eventually we just got to the point that we're just going to wear masks because we want to play together. We want to be in everyone's presence. And none of the players that I had during that time contracted COVID. Up to this time, none of us have contracted COVID.
yeah,
Because we followed all the rules. We still had to work and everything else, so we did what we had to do.
yeah.
So, but yeah, we got together and we played at my house and had a great time. I just feel bad for the gaming stores because they lost out on a lot of money during that time period.
Yeah, the gaming stores here mostly closed down. Some of the comic book stores stayed open. As far as what they did was they did curbside service, so that's how they stayed open. If you wanted a new comic book, they had you go to the website, you look what you want, and then boom, you go roll right up, and the guy brought the bag out to you with his mask and gloves on at the time. So my
Right.
comic book store stayed in business that way. So I'm thankful that he's made it work, so to speak.
Yeah, so that's interesting and everything. So I do also remember one of the gaming stores went to a online store.
Yeah, a lot of them did wind up doing that, just drop shipping stuff. So
And I will tell you this, though, that during that time, I remember when the stores were allowed to open.
yeah,
So when people came in, they were still required to wear masks,
yeah,
but they were not allowed to touch the product anywhere in the game store. They could not pick up a book to read behind it. They were not allowed to pick up a box of miniatures to study the miniatures. They weren't allowed to pick up anything. So it made it very problematic. So
Yeah.
the one gaming store resorted to having an online service. And with that being said, and again, here we're going again. We're doing something that we don't really want to do. We're trying to avoid going to online to order gaming stuff. We want to support our local gaming stores. So let's just deal with the reality. Gaming product is going up and up and up. Now you're telling people you can buy stuff from our online store. And people says, well, if I'm online, they'll type in the game and they'll say the least cost. They're looking at 1,000 other sites where the game or whatever they're trying to buy is cheaper than what's being sold at the gaming store. So the gaming store took a loss on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're just gonna buy this game, you might as well just look on Amazon first or something similar to that, or board game. I forgot the name of the site, but you look on there, you see the cheapest price, and that game store is out. You're right. So they just screwed themselves.
So it was a very problematic time for that entire year, and maybe a little bit after that and everything when they decided, let's open the stores, let's get people back in the stores. And again, the COVID impacted the gaming community in one of the worst ways possible.
Yep. And you didn't use virtual tabletops, so that goes there. That question. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I looked into it and I just did not care for it. it's not the same as playing with your friends around the table, where you're drinking a beer or you're having, eating Doritos and Mountain Dews, and that's just being a stereotype. That's a trope. We didn't do any of that. We get pizza though, but we did what
Mm.
we did. We like to play together in each other's company.
Yeah, I understand totally. So,
Yes, sir.
what about at your table? Did you like allow technology, or you like me when we played around the table? Not put your phones away. You can keep them on, obviously. Put your phones away. I don't want to see a laptop out. I just want to see dice, your face, character sheet, and a pencil and a book, obviously.
We talked about this before a long time ago in RFI about that.
Yeah.
And typically, I tell people, let's just put the electronics away. But in retrospect, I guess I am a hypocrite because I do have a brand new gaming table. I forgot the company that made it for me. But they have all those little plugs around there, so you can plug in. They provide power to electronic devices if you're sitting at the table.
Yeah. I mean,
so I feel bad about that sometimes. But typically when we're playing, they all respect the concept of technology table because it can be distracting and everything. They have always been good about that. So yeah, we never had no problems with that.
right. I mean, I know we asked that we talked about that on RFI many years ago, but that was maybe 10 years ago or so. So,
God, yeah, probably that long.
Opinions change over time. Like I used to be, I was okay with it on the table. And over the years now, I don't like it at the table because it distracts people. And I'm tired of looking across the table and seeing someone's head in their phone while I'm trying to describe a scene. So.
Right. I will tell you what's so funny, though, that because we're talking about, I remember 2 RPGs that used, what do you call those? A notepad or whatever you call those iPad things, where you downloaded the QRC code.
Yeah.
So when the players went to it, you can actually, show them what they're seeing. And that was a long time ago. But right now, there are board games out there where apps are, utilized at the table as well now. So that's about the only time we let it be there. But, the phones are nearby. I have to keep my phone nearby because of work, because I'm on call 24 hours a day. So that's the exception to the rule. But yeah, we take breaks, honestly, and they'll look at their phones and make sure their wives or girlfriends or whoever's contacting them say, hey, when are you coming home? We still got 3 more hours. We got to kill some orcs and pigs with, human faces and all that other stuff. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, that long time argument that we had with people about orcs with pig faces.
That's right. Or the humans with pig faces,
Yeah. I forgot about that. And then the other doggone argument that we had with Nick about clerics and edged weapons. They aren't supposed to use them, and he kept saying they should.
Oh, yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. We all know what the deal is on that.
Yeah, they're not allowed. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's funny. I could use a sling bullet. No, you can't because it's sharp.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny and everything. Well, stones are sharp, not round pebbles. They're not.
No.
You ever see river stones that are sharp?
Not really.
River rock or whatever you want to call it.
So, all right, well, let's shift again to another question that people often ask, and it's about pacing in a campaign or pacing in your adventure. So, how would you handle it in your group or in any game that you're playing? And you say you're describing the thing, and you sense and as a DM of, I don't know what, 40 years or something like that for your case. I don't know. You want to date yourself?
Wow.
A DM of 30 plus years, we'll say. You would know when there's a lull in the group, and you notice your group is not paying attention or not having fun. What is your idea of bringing them back into it? Is yours like jump to combat, jump to a random scene, try to get their attention that way, have someone attack? What is your opinion on that?
Oh, so this is awesome. So, and I think we discussed this a while back ago sometime. And what I do is when I run any type of AD&D module, any type of adventure for that matter, and I'm only talking about AD&D, I'm not talking about Call of Cthulhu or any of that stuff, but AD&D specifically, I use the whole concept of the Gilligan's Island mentality. So when the show started, they always talked about, one of the characters, and we all know it was about Gilligan most of the time. But next week, there would be an episode that would focus on one of the other characters.
Yeah.
They're minor. Gilligan was major, but they will focus solely on that minor character and the issues that they're trying to resolve. So in my games with the characters and everything, I always keep in mind how can each one be focused on, particularly in the adventure, and that in any time that there is a lull, I will kind of like bring that out to get them to focus. Oh, this is about me now. So sometimes I do something very subtle, whether it be a red herring
Yeah.
or intentionally put something in there that will grab their attention back into it because they know this particular theme involves them.
Yeah. Huh.
So, and that's why family backgrounds, historical backgrounds on the characters is very useful to me and everything. And I have them always sitting aside on small chits of paper and everything. So the moment that I see that there's something, off a little bit, and I say, "Here, I got something for you." Reading says, "Oh," and so now he's up or she's, paying attention. They're more alert to what is going on.
You actually used the term chits of paper, which has made me laugh. I haven't heard someone say chits of paper in a long time, and you definitely are an old school gamer. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's just one of those little things,
Yeah.
like, you put random rumors and everything, and so I'll print them out and I'll cut them down into little rectangular sheets, It's not a 3x5 card by far, I'll tell you that. I mean, it basically is that small little chit that you fold in a couple pieces and say, "Hey, here you go, this is for you," and that gets their attention very quickly, and then they perk up and they say, "Oh, what's next? What's next?" And they anticipate. But that's the whole purpose of doing so.
Yeah, when I notice a lull in my group, I'll usually throw out something very, very random at the group. Like maybe like a guy tries to steal from them, or this magical portal opens up. Anything that's just out of the ordinary and weird. So, and then that usually brings them right back into the game. So
Right. And this is a prime example of UK2 and UK3, the Sentinel and the Gauntlet.
yeah.
The way the adventure is designed is to encompass the entire party, either as a group or individually, because there's some places where a thief is more useful, or there's a cleric that's more useful, or the mage is more useful. Because the Sentinel, of course, goes to a particular member of the party. So we have to deal with that. So, but there's other portions of the adventure which kind of like revolve around another character. So either way, no matter what shape or form, someone's going to be involved. They just got to figure out when their cue comes up, and they take advantage of it.
So, what is your future looking like for gaming? What do you want to play that you haven't played in a while, or maybe you never played?
Oh wow, there's a couple things out. I don't know if we ever talked about the Alien RPG.
I don't think it was out back then.
Oh, it wasn't. It may have been a Kickstarter time. What a phenomenal game. Just well done, mechanically wise. How to create a stressful moment.
Yeah.
So, what sold me on the Alien RPG first is that the DM, the GM, or whatever you want to call them, is called Mother.
Oh, okay.
That's what sold me. I said, "Oh, I'm the computer Mother."
Yeah.
Now, of course, Mother in Alien, I think, had a female voice, I believe. I believe she did. Yeah, I believe so.
She did, yep.
Yeah. So I said, "Hey, I'm Mother." So you will refer to me as Mother. "Oh, you're not the GM?" "I am, but I'm Mother. That's who I am. Mother's talking." I thought was awesome. That was one of the best selling points to me. The next part is that when characters are stressed, in order to be successful, they have to roll so many dice. When you're stressed, you roll less die, so you're less successful at the task you're trying to accomplish. Well done, game. Just impressive. I have not been able to play it yet, but I will soon enough.
That was by Free League, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Free League did a phenomenal job on various things, including Lord of the Rings as well. I thought was actually well done.
Yes, they did do a good job on that. So, I mean, that's one of the few RPGs that I want to get back into again, and bring to the table. And I'm trying to think what else.
And one of my favorite ones that they redid was Twilight 2000. So.
Oh yes, Twilight 2000. Talk about a blast from the past. One of the best board games ever created. I can't think of the company for the life of me that did it. What was the name of that company?
Oh, for Twilight 2000 was Games.
Yeah, from the very get-go.
Games Workshop, I believe it was.
Yeah, was it? Has it been that long? Oh man, I'm definitely getting old.
Yeah, yes, they did the original game. RPG for that, and I loved that.
Yes, game. Twilight 2000. Well done game. Love it. Merc was its I would call it its sister, was another well done game, was
Merc
Merc
2000,
during that
yeah.
time period. And then of course you had Cyberpunk and then Shadowrun from
Yeah.
back in those days. But I will tell you one that is a blast from the past that I think old time gamers would know is Paranoia.
Yes. You know, I had a lot of
And
fun playing that card game that they came out with for Paranoia.
Yes, yeah, they did a reprint of Paranoia, which sold very well done. And yes, in the card game, yes, you're correct.
I had so much fun playing that at one of the little conventions that we were laughing all night. We played it like 3 or 4 times in a row. It was so much fun just trying to get around in that. I miss Paranoia, to be honest.
Yeah, what a well done game. And last but not least, I'm looking at trying to get Pacesetter's Chill back on the table.
Oh,
and,
man, yeah.
Yeah.
The original Chill?
Yes, the original Chill.
Yeah.
A well done game, well written, good rules. So I like to bring that. So even though my group loves Call of Cthulhu, I want to show them a different twist on, modern day horror, which is pretty much what it is. It's modern day horror for that game.
It is. Or you can always get Cult as well.
Oh, Cult. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thank you for joining me today, Will. I appreciate you stopping by and giving people a treat from the past of DM Will from Roll for Initiative, because people missed you. Maybe they'll...
I have to say this much. I just want to say thank you to all those who are my fans. I have no idea what the number is. I'm not one of those keep a tick mark. Like, hey, I got another fan. I got 10,957. Can I get more? No, I appreciate the kind words and everything.
All 4 of them, right?
That's what I'm saying. I have a few that text me from time to time. I got them talking to me on Facebook, or I'll run into them some other type of area. But no, it is an honor to come back and just make this appearance. And like I said, I'm always, willing to come back in case something else comes up.
Maybe we'll have to discuss doing some type of podcasting together, because I'm free and you seem to be somewhat free sometimes. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, my friend.
So I'm going to say, keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, and God bless everybody.